Civil defense officials in Cumberland have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers. It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life.
Why are they naming a computer a gateway? And it's in the shape of a cube. Okay? That's not a cow. Why would they call it gateway? Because it is a gateway. Okay? It's a gateway into other dimensions. And then, you know, you've got your program Windows. Why do you think they're calling it Windows? You know, I can explain to you guys how Saturn is linked up to the planet Earth. That's why your browsers all have a historical background going to Saturn in mythology and the occult. You know, and then you got to ask yourself, why in the hell is there a big black cube in the UN prayer room which represents the planet Saturn? And then the next question you got to ask yourself is, why isn't somebody moving that thing the fuck out of there? Excuse my language, but yeah, when we're speaking candidly, let's just speak. Why aren't they moving that thing out of there? Why? Because it's those that are from there that are ruling this planet. It's why everybody in authority wears black, because that's the color of the planet Saturn. That's the occultic color. It's why all your authoritative figures wear black. Priests, judges, rabbis, cops, SWAT, Nazi. You know, you gotta go back to the basics and say, what in the hell
was on the internet.
Here?
Out of the shadows came this hideous black thing, a cyber demon. I could feel its hot, stale breath on the back of my neck, but I couldn't make myself turn around. Then it grabbed my arms and hissed in my ear that it was going to use me to take over the world. And then it laughed and laughed and laughed. And I really couldn't see the human taking over the whole world.
So you had a weird dream?
But you don't understand. Genies don't dream.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
I think this thing was real, and I think it's coming after me. There's something evil in that box.
Relax, Lise. I don't think there are any cyber demons on the internet out to get you. Come on downstairs and join the party.
Okay, this is on some news agency called RT. Russian news, or I don't know what it is. Everybody that's on it speaks English, so I don't even know why it's called Russian television. Whatever. This thing is not only computer generated, but I'm going to show you, and most importantly, how the entities that are actually behind your screen. I'm going going to show you as they change in the story. Now I want you to understand that these entities are behind your screen. That's in a part of another dimension that is part of the Kabbalistic tree. It's hard to explain. However, it comes from a place called Dath, D-A-A-T-H, not death. It's where all the intelligence of the tree of life comes from. So when you watch behind here, I'll show you. I did still shots. You'll see the faces, and you'll see the faces morphing from one to the other because those are actual entities that are on the other side of the screen, and they are the ones that are creating the image of the woman in front, not the other way around. They are creating the image, not unlike the miners again. They are creating the image of the woman in front. The woman in front doesn't exist like you think she does. Okay? I'm just letting you know that. And when I did still shots. Look, you can see the faces, and they change throughout the whole video. But there's multiple faces in faces because it's a conscience. But it's malevolent. And the sad part of it is that it's red, white, and blue. But if you watch, you'll see the faces. The story is bullshit. The whole thing is bullshit. But the faces, that shit is real. The woman doesn't exist. The woman does not exist like you think she does. When you watch these faces, you'll understand what I'm saying. And once again, it's these things trying to come out of their dimension into yours. So, for lack of a better word, I think they get kicks out of screwing with people's heads. But you just look at the video, and then you look at the still shots I did, and you'll see the faces continually changing. This is whatever's doing this is not human. If you're a religious person, you can call them demons. If you're a New Age, you want to call them aliens. Whatever, they're slipping through time. The Bible clearly tells us that there's other things here besides us, so it's not far-fetched. They're not even in the least. And that pesky ball with the ring around it keeps winding up at the center of all this stuff. I think there's things here posing as people. Well, they made a movie called Invasion of the Body Snatchers. They looked like people, but they weren't. And what about that other movie, They Live? See, they're always trying to tell you. Most people just look at that stuff as just stories, but there are those things that they're impersonating people.
What do these things want, and why are they here?
You still don't get it, do you, boy?
They have recruited the rich and the powerful.
They're running the whole show.
Wake up!
I don't trust anybody in government because, they're all part of it. They're all part of it. They know what's going on. They've always known what's going on. The Bible clearly tells us that there are those that are here. It says in the Old Testament, it says, "Be careful how you treat an angel, because be careful how you treat a stranger. You may be entertaining an angel unaware." Now look at here. Look at this little bug-looking guy. Looks like a bee, doesn't he? You see him? Now he's in the solar plexus of the individual. This is what I'm saying. What are they telling us here? That this thing is making the illusion of a person, but it's really not a person. It's really another entity. Yeah. You see the outline of a person, but that thing is really inside the person. So it's actually creating, the illusion that there's a person there. Now I know this is bizarre, and what isn't in any of my videos, but I'm going to show you something that's in real life, which is, there's something really weird going on here.
This is silly. There's no computer demon. Being paranoid. Why, it's right. And he was right about those meatballs. Just the wind. It was just the wind. Who are you?
Don't you remember me? Or did you think it was really just a dream?
I'm not afraid of you.
Well, you should be, because this is going to hurt.
These things are here, man, I'm telling you. Whatever they are, they're here. Look at the design on the back of her shirt. Does that look familiar to you? You've seen it before, right? Could it be a coincidence? Possibly. But what takes away the coincidence? What takes away the coincidence of the hexagram, which is a cube? Okay, what takes that away is the guy standing next to her. Do you see what's wrong with him? Okay, so here's a close-up of the guy. Watch between his back and his arm that's facing you. Watch when I do the overlay. Do you see it now? Watch very closely. I'm blowing it up. You see it? This isn't by chance. There's no way in hell that this is by chance. There's that little bug face that was in the movie. Okay? Let me give you that clip. Let me give you that clip again, so you can see the cube and the little critter standing side by side in the 9/11 video. There's some very weird shit going on here. I'm not saying that these are like aliens, like, you know, little green men. That cube is that cube that's in the UN prayer room that represents Saturn, which is the god of time and space, is some type of a porthole. And then things have been slipping around here since the beginning of time. You can call them fallen angels, you can call them whatever the hell you want to, demons, whatever. Those things are here, and they're masquerading as people. That's why the Bible, Jesus talked about the parable. There are those that look like men and die like men, but are not men.
Elise, now you're starting to show some Halloween spirit.
I'm afraid Elisa has become demonically possessed and is unavailable to take your call. Would you care to leave a message?
Report that fetal Paul McCartney is alive and well, and as he puts it, unconcerned about the rumors of his death.
Any parent can testify the lifestyle of the Beatles has always been somewhat different, and if you believe current rumor, their style of revealing Paul McCartney's alleged death is being carried out with singular taste.
Who are you? I am the essence of all that is evil in the computer world.
You're Bill Gates? What have you done to Lisa?
Cyberspace is boring. How much can you do when you're nothing but a disembodied stream of evil electrons? To interface with your world, I need a vessel, a body. And this one will do nicely.
Understatement of the year.
Even in this body, I am still tied to the computer world. To break free of my cyberspace prison once and for all, I must have more memory. A couple more brains work. Nothing will be able to stop me. Hold still. This will hurt.
Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna run? You're gonna hide? Nowhere, because there's no one like you left.